Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Dad Podcast. My name's Scott DeConing. You see my brother on the line as well, Kevin DeConing. Hi, Kev.
Hey, how's it going today?
Good, good. How are you?
Oh, doing well, thank you.
Good, excellent. Today we're talking about screen time. Again, episode number 2. If you haven't had a chance, go back and check out episode number 1, currently uploaded on YouTube. All you have to do is search Dad Podcast, and you're going to see our two mugs sitting there on YouTube. Sorry if you hear my dog scratching in the background, but this is the world we live in. We're doing this from home, so yeah.
We are having a big storm outside too, so you hear cracks of thunder.
Yeah,
That's what that is.
It just started. Wicked. Yeah. So today we are going to talk about screen time, which is always a hot topic in a lot of different ways. We have a couple of websites that we're going to refer to. We're going to talk about our experience and just see where the conversation goes. So if you are a dad, I'd just like to throw this out there. If you are a dad and you want to be a guest on our podcast, send us a message and we will respond to you and see what we can do to set that up. So anyway, I'm just going to put that in there. If you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast, share this with anybody who you think might actually benefit from this experience or from this information, because this is information that we wish that we would have had before we started being dads.
Big time, yeah.
Big time. Yeah. And that's the whole purpose of this podcast, is just to basically pass this along. So I'm going to start with the one website that we found called healthline.com. And the blog that it talks about, it's not really showing it, is screen time altering the brains of your child? Now, I won't go through and read the whole thing, but what it basically talks about is the fact that tablets, TVs, smartphones, computers, laptops, whatever the case may be, they're both really the same thing. Really, they're all the same. They're all computers. Are such an evident piece of our world right now, and it's only going to get bigger. So the big question is, how do we limit it? Now, what it says is they did a bit of a research, so this specifically for 9 and 10-year-olds. And when they did an MRI, they noticed that there were significant differences in the brains of some children who reported using smartphones, tablets, and video games more than 7 hours a day. 7 hours. That's a long time.
That is a lot of screen time.
That is too much screen time. Too much.
So right now I got a daughter in grade 4 going into grade 5 here next year, and one in grade 2. And right now, the one going in grade 5, and she's in grade 4, she does about 4 hours worth of schoolwork. She could actually do more, but I have to cut her off.
Right.
Or else she could sit there all day and still not get ahead.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. It's tough right now.
Well, see, and this is where the challenge comes in, and this is why I think it's a really good topic to bring up, is because, I mean, these websites that we're looking at are pre-COVID.
Yes.
Pre-work from home.
So for us so for her schoolwork, she can read on her own time if she does it on screen, on her tablet. And then the more she reads, the more FaceTime she has on her tablet, essentially. The better score she gets, the higher level she gets, the more things she gets for her avatar, so it looks better in her class, right? So.
And this is the younger one?
No, this is the older one. The younger one has the same thing. It's the same thing. It's called Epic Books.
I see.
Yeah. So you read on your own time, but if you read a paperback book, you don't get the score for it. So it's better to read online, apparently. So what do you do?
Right. And if this is what the schools are suggesting,
well, what are they supposed to do too, right? Like,
right. Yeah. They're not going to buy 400 books and distribute them.
Those teachers are busting their ass just to get what they can do.
Can't even imagine being a teacher right now.
No.
I think a lot of parents are really getting a lot of respect for teachers. Right?
They're finally understanding what the teachers do. Like I volunteered to school all the time, so I kind of had an idea.
Yeah.
But it's the things that those teachers do are insane.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
They are heroes.
Well, and I talked to a lot of parents that are actually trying to work with their kids in their online schooling, and it's their kids.
Yes.
And that's the thing. It's their kids. So what I find funny about the whole thing is they're like, I don't know what I'm doing, and they're going crazy. The whole time they're going crazy. And I just think, okay, well, and we know a teacher who plays soccer with us, and I think he's high school or junior high.
I think it's high school.
I think it's high school. I think so too. And I just can't imagine you're bringing in all those kids, in his case, teenagers, really, who he doesn't know at the beginning of the year, and now he has to try and teach them all the way through. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Has to teach them, has to follow a schedule.
Yep.
And essentially, he can't fail anybody either.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
When he told me that kind of stuff, like you basically, it's easier to pass them than it is to argue with the parents and the principal and stuff. Yeah.
But like even starting in grade 5 or 6 now, they tell you need a computer. You need a MacBook to travel back and forth. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like when we were growing up, the biggest thing we had was a TI-83. Do you remember those things?
A scientific calculator.
Yeah. And those were the shit though. $100.
That's what they were.
Right. That's $100 at London Drugs, and you had to have them.
You go to Walmart, you pay $100.
$100, $105.
Remember the graphing calculator?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You play Snake.
Heaven forbid you broke it.
Oh no, you don't break it.
No, you going home to mom saying I broke my calculator.
Oh, you don't do that. That's $105 down the drain.
No. So yeah, so like in grade 5 or 6, I'm not sure which one, they recommend you get a MacBook.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, you can either rent one from the school or buy one for yourself. Yeah.
Jeez.
But that's how they stay connected online, right? So
yeah. Well, and I wonder how much that's going to change post-pandemic.
Well, if you have a question, you could just email your teacher and say, "Hey, I can't figure this out. This is what I do." And the teachers are so good at getting back to you. But this is what we do now.
Right. Yep. Actually, that brings up another story that I heard. This just came to my mind, and I really give this teacher a lot of credit because she was thinking outside the box when it came to teaching our kids. What she would do is she would upload all of her lessons onto YouTube. Her kid's job at night was to go home and watch all the videos on YouTube, do the work at home, and then the next day come in, and the whole day was asking questions about what they didn't understand.
Really?
Yeah. So then what they could end up doing is they could end up pausing the video, going back, or in our day we call it rewind it.
Rewind it, yeah.
Yeah.
The old rewind.
Yeah. You can't rewind. And then they could watch it over and over and over again until they understand it. And then whatever part they don't understand, they were actually able to write it down or put it in a note in their computer or whatever and go back to the teacher and basically say, can you help me work through this point? So she was actually able to focus on the parts that the kids were struggling with as opposed to focusing on the entire lesson.
Nice.
It's a crazy concept, but I love
it. Would all the kids be struggling at the same spot, I wonder?
Well, and that's the thing.
That'd be easiest to just, if that was the case, it's not a bad problem, right?
Right. Yeah. But if you think about it and kind of looping back to what we're talking about, her whole lesson plan is geared around screen time.
Yeah. But the kids are going to go home and be on the screen anyway. You might as well let them watch schoolwork.
And use what people are using, right? Yeah. Like, I think, what is that, 150 years ago, there's the same setup for school that there is now. Like, we have such an old school system. Pun intended. Yeah, it is. But we're using the same system that we used 150 years ago. I mean, we are not in the same world
We are and we aren't, because we completely changed math. Like, math is fucked now.
Oh,
math has changed.
Yeah, it's not the same at all.
No.
Well, and if they need MacBooks by the 5th or 6th grade, they're probably going to be learning calculus by grade 11.
Yeah. So, Katrina, my oldest, we're doing an assignment, like a travel log. So she spent a night in Banff, or the thing was she saved up money, so she had to go through and look at the websites and stuff, see how much it costs, break down costs and stuff like that. She's like, Dad, can I use your calculator? Then I said, well, you won't always have a calculator. Then I was thinking, I was like, wait, yeah, you will always have a calculator with you.
That's right.
Sure. Here, use the calculator. Learn how to use the calculator.
Yep. Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? As we were growing up, I said, you'll never have a calculator with you all the time. You have to learn how to do this. Well, now they do.
Mm-hmm. So true. So true. The other takeaway they found from the study is that children who reported less than or more than 2 hours of screen time, and again, these are 9 or 10-year-olds, scored lower on thinking and language tests. So I find that interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and those are just the numbers to support whether screen time is beneficial. So it's such a weird situation.
That's that's a weird statistic.
It is. Because any website that I've read, plus, I mean, talking with Carol and my wife and that, we've identified that any child, baby basically, under the age of 18 months should have zero screen time. And between 18 and 24 months, it should be limited to up to 1 hour with the parent talking through what the situation is, what's happening on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, because on the website mayoclinic.org, it basically identifies that if you're actually sitting with your child, not only can you monitor what they're watching and make sure what they're watching is what they should be watching, but also too, you're talking through so that they actually understand what it is that they're doing. Because up to 18 months, let's say, because Ava is about to turn 20 months, so I'm kind of in that range right now. If we were to watch, I don't know, Sesame Street, and
no, sorry, it's called Sesame Park now because I don't want kids playing in the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
No, it's good because Carolyn was also saying that they have one who is like Snuffleupagus has now been diagnosed with depression, and Bert and or Ernie have come out to identify as gay, and I think there's another character on there now with autism, which I think is awesome because it helps kids to understand that these things are good and not everybody's the same. But it's just interesting to see Sesame Street when we were growing up to where it is now. It's amazing, the change. But so if we were to watch Sesame Street or Sesame Park, with our child between the ages of 18 and 24 months, and we can see that they're making bracelets, we can say they're taking the beads and they're feeding it through the string, and when you do that enough, it creates a bracelet, and you can tie and actually talk them through what's happening, because up to that point you're supposed to be interacting with them, and they learn more by physical interaction more than video. And then, so what you're doing is you're kind of translating from the physical interaction, here's what I always do with mom and dad, to here's what they're doing on TV, and this is why it's the same. So, yeah.
I don't remember when my kids were 18 months. It's so long ago.
Well, and that's the thing, right?
It seems like so long ago.
Yeah.
But we didn't have tablets. I think I had a BlackBerry.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, right.
I think I had a BlackBerry.
And at the time, we had the latest BlackBerry.
Right?
Yeah.
Remember BlackBerry Messenger? Right, but
Good old
like,
BBM.
yeah, but that's what we had. So
Yep.
I don't remember what we did. I know we watched a lot of Handy Manny and stuff, but
Yeah.
they were probably one and a half, two. I don't remember.
Well, and here's my guilty pleasure: sports.
Love sports.
Right?
Miss sports.
Oh, so much, especially because the playoffs are supposed to be just wrapping up right now and for the NHL.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I try and stick to the no screen time because that's what we're doing right now to make sure that our child is set up for success as much as she can be. And my guilty pleasure being sports, we being from Canada, hockey. Just gonna pause there for dramatic effect. Yeah, and let that sink in.
Let that one marinate.
Just marinate for a minute, and then so what I ended up doing near the end of the season this year was I would actually just turn it on, put it on mute, and play with Ava as much as I could, and then every now and again check to see what the score was because I had to watch the scores. So
yeah.
Because I remember when you were growing up with your kids there, if there was one thing that was on TV, it was hockey.
All the time, yeah.
No, I think you're screen.
That's.
It'll catch up in a second here. Oh,
Hello?
there you go.
Hello?
Oh, hi.
Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah. So actually, that was when one of my kids learned her first swear words was watching hockey. Oh yeah. Proud dad moment right there.
Oh yeah, yeah. You said puck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I did not say stay in your pucking net. I'll tell you that.
But they did.
they did. Yeah.
Oh, puck. Yeah, that's right. They're playing hockey with the puck.
Yes.
Yes. It's a verbal autocorrect. Oh yeah. So it's a guilty pleasure. Right now we're taking advantage of the no sports because TV's not on if she's around usually. Although, if I can admit to one thing, right now, especially being summer, you need to put on sunscreen. Good luck trying to put sunscreen on a 19-month-old.
Or a 10-year-old with eczema.
Well, that too, right? Yeah. Now, in your situation, it's because it hurts. In mine, it's because we have the attention span of a marble.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to get up and play. I want to move around.
The shiny things always shiny. Ooh, something shiny.
So what I will do is I'll play nursery rhymes. And then she's just focused on the nursery rhymes. And I put the sunscreen on, and I've gotten down to 5 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, 5 minutes, it's on, and then I turn it off, and she goes, ooh, more, which is another indication that screen time isn't good, because even at 19 months, she wants more screen time. And so it's interesting because I'm looking at it going, no, we'll come back to that later. We'll play with it later. Don't worry about it. And then she just goes and plays again. But I have been using it because the sunscreen is important.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself to put it on.
You what, sir?
And I never wear it myself, and I need to.
That's the problem, especially with having no hair.
Oh, blow.
Yeah. Hey, we're in the same boat there.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we almost want to call this the Bald Podcast. The Bald Bros or something. I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah. So again, from that website, mayoclinic.org, it did identify certain things to keep in mind when you have poor quality screen time limits. And the first thing it talks about is that it's been linked to, in one way or another, to obesity.
Yeah, that makes sense, though. I mean, even this pandemic, I've gained weight just sitting around watching TV.
Yeah. Well, and you're in your garage right now, and I'm interrupting your workout.
You are, yes. I'm trying to lose some weight here.
Yeah. So I think the main reason for the obesity is the lack of playing time, because they aren't when they're watching their tablets or their TVs or smartphones, whatever they're watching, they're not outside playing as much.
And I've noticed that the kids stay up later if they're not outside playing. They're not as tired.
Good segue, because the next thing it talks about is an irregular sleep pattern.
Oh, it's insane. You can tell when the kids have been sitting around all day doing nothing.
Yeah.
They're not tired.
Yeah. Yeah. They need to burn off that energy.
Well, my young girls just start telling me stories about her games and stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh, okay. I don't know what you're talking about, but you're interested, so let's have at her."
If you're interested, I'm interested. Yeah.
I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but she loves it.
Yeah, it says irregular sleep schedules, like you were saying, they stay up longer, and shorter duration of sleep. Yeah. Which leads to being tired, short,
which leads to laziness.
Yeah, behavioral problems.
Yeah.
Yep. Just loss of social skills is another one that it indicates that has been linked to screen time. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. Which I think has been a challenge for anybody homeschooled. No, I'm not judging. I'm not classifying. In fact, there's a lot of benefit to it right now. I think
we grew up with somebody that was homeschooled, and he was a little bit antisocial. But now they have more homeschooling, I guess, classrooms that they go to after school, like Friday nights and Thursday nights. I know a guy that's homeschooling his kids now, and they have homeschool get-togethers through the classes and stuff like that. And they went swimming, like before all this pandemic. They went swimming. They played floor hockey and stuff like that. Like they had
in person
out there. Yeah.
Oh wow, good.
Yeah, so it was good for them.
Yeah. Oh, they need it.
Yeah, it increases their social skills there too.
Yeah, that was not the case when we were growing up in school.
No.
And if you were homeschooled, you were just socially awkward at the time.
You were, for the most part, because you're only interacting with a parent or whatever, right?
That's it. Yeah, you might interact with your teacher for 15 minutes, but then you're at home all the time, right?
Yeah.
So, the other thing it identifies is it's been linked to being for kids being more violent. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. Well, look, when we were growing up, we used to play guns. We were kids, right?
Yeah.
We played violent video games.
Yeah, right.
We did. I don't think they're more violent now. I think that there's more knowledge about it now. I think there's more. And I think that it's more documented now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like there's just more research done on it. When we were kids, we used to do the exact same shit kids are doing these days.
Mm-hmm.
There's just more cameras, more research, more documents on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think kids are more violent now because of screen time. Personally, I don't.
No. Oh, that's the thing. This is a website that has had one side of experience, and we may have had another. So there's no right or wrong answer. It's more just
no. Yeah. It's just that's because we used to wrestle, we used to shoot guns, we used to fight, we used to, like we could have been asshole kids, right?
Yeah. I got you.
Right.
I shot you.
I shot you first. No, I shot you first.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the other day, 2 kids were wrestling on my front lawn, and I yelled at them, and I was like, "Well, I can't get mad because I used to do that when I was a kid."
We used to do that, yeah.
Right. Yeah. The neighbor kid, he's got gravel in his grass, and I don't. So come over to my grass.
Right. Yeah, you're not going to wrestle on gravel, or at least you shouldn't.
Right. Shouldn't.
Shouldn't. Yeah.
Right. And then I started giving him shit, and I was like, "Well, I did that when I was a kid too, so I can't get too mad." But
yeah.
I was only mad. Well, I was mad because I had a showing that day. So.
Oh yes.
Yeah, house showing. Yeah, trying to sell a house. So that's why I got mad. Yeah.
That's justified.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think the screens are making kids more violent these days.
No.
No
more than we were.
No,
I
wouldn't think so. Society is. I don't think it's anything to the screens.
Yeah,
but it's a totally different topic.
Well, and I think too, when you talk about screen time, it goes to what are they watching?
Yeah.
What are they watching? Like if they're watching somebody be violent and that becomes their norm, then as far as they know, they're doing normal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And if you're spending 7 hours playing Call of Duty, which, I mean, we play Call of Duty, we cannot do.
No, not as a parent.
No. Well, even before.
It's boring. Like, it gets like 2 or 3 hours in, you're like, hey, I'm done. I gotta
my brain's
do stuff.
Yeah. I gotta do something. Yeah.
But like right now, my kids, they'll have the TV going, watching some YouTube video on a game called Roblox.
Okay.
But then they'll each be playing Roblox on their tablet. So they're kind of playing what they see on the TV screen.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I walk up and I'm like, are you guys even watching this? Yeah, don't turn that off. Don't turn that off. It's like, okay. So are you watching or are you playing your game?
Right.
Both. Okay, fair enough.
I wonder if it's interactive.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. I sat down and watched, and I played, and there's problem solving stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's still just a game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never Roadblocks.
Roblox, yeah, Roblox.
Oh, Roblox. Oh yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'm not there yet.
No, you're not.
No. And another area, I had a question for you because I'm not there yet myself. Is your kids have tablets?
Yeah.
I'm assuming they hook up to your Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Now, do you set parental controls?
I don't know. No, I don't. No, I trust them. Mm-hmm. The younger one was talking to somebody online, but then the older one screamed at her and said, "Don't talk to that person."
Yeah, that's the challenge, right?
Yeah. So she was trying to trade an egg on some game or something like that. This part of the game is that's what she wasn't talking to her. The characters were talking to themselves. They were just standing face to face, like, and then it says, you click buttons, and then it says execute trade, and then you say yes or no.
Oh, yeah.
So they're not actually talking to each other,
right?
But their characters are face to face, right? So the older one screamed at her, "Stop talking to that person!"
Well, that's good though.
But well, they know don't talk to nobody online.
Yeah, unless it's family or something. Like they send me messages on Messenger all the time.
Well, see,
Messenger
that's monitored.
kids.
That's monitored.
Yeah.
I get every message sent to them, and I get every message they send out.
And so it should be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wouldn't let them on it if it wasn't that way.
No, exactly.
No.
Yeah. Because what they use is Messenger Kids, right?
Yeah, Messenger Kids.
Yeah.
Facebook Messenger Kids.
Yeah.
But they don't have their own Facebook account.
They do or they don't?
They don't.
No, and nor should they.
No, they're not old enough. There's nothing. They don't need to talk to anybody on there.
And that's a topic that you and I have talked about recently, and I'm just going to bring it up top of my head here. You were saying that your oldest has been asking for a phone.
Yes.
And your youngest, 2 years younger, wants a phone at the same time.
She says it's not fair.
Right. But I like your response to that.
But she doesn't need one. Yeah.
You don't need one.
Katrina waited. You can wait.
Exactly.
Right? Like, Katrina waited till she was probably going to be 11. You can wait till you're 11.
That's right. There's no reason for an 8-year-old to have a phone right now.
Yeah.
You're going to play games, do it on your tablet.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. If that.
She doesn't need a phone. If she doesn't, go, let's see.
Go play.
My kids will play a lot of like Barbies and stuff like that. Then they go back to the videos, and then they'll go play Barbies again, and then they go back to the videos. Like they get bored they get bored just as quick as anybody else.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. One avenue that I've been thinking of is, and reading again, I'm on this mayoclinic.org site. It says limit your own screen time and eliminate background TV. And this kind of leads to the next topic I want to talk about is I believe, for sure, because I've been unofficially diagnosed, and I can't speak for you, and I'll let you speak for yourself, but I believe I have a small version of ADHD.
I was told growing up I did.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So they wanted to give me Ritalin. They wanted to drug me right away.
Right.
But then my mom said no.
Mm-hmm.
And then so they told her that I needed to drink coffee. And coffee will slow me down. Yeah.
As a stimulant.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Now my understanding now, again, I'm not a doctor. For anybody listening to this podcast, watching us on YouTube, whatever the case may be, I'm not a doctor by any means, but this is my understanding from the research that I've done about ADHD. It's where you have actual trouble focusing. And some people will joke around, oh, it's my OCD or my ADHD. Oh, look, squirrel. But in reality, it's where you have trouble focusing. Now, I myself, if I'm working on something, whether it's even reading a book, I prefer to have the TV on at a low volume in the background, especially if it's something that I've watched multiple times, because having that noise in the background actually helps me focus. And that's a big part of ADHD.
Same with doing work on the computer. I'll have TV on the background, music most of the time, but
yep.
Yeah, music or a movie that I've seen.
Yep, music too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I've tried doing podcasts while I'm working and stuff, but I focus so much on the podcast I can't do both.
Yeah.
So
I was doing that mowing the lawn today, so I turned the podcast off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You almost have to, if you're going to listen to a podcast, especially ours, where you really want to focus on what you're watching. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When it's important information like this and you really want to focus on what it is, you almost have to do something mind numbing where you've done it multiple times. It's just, your brain goes into autopilot, and then you could just do what you're going to do, and you're listening, because that's where your focus goes.
That's exactly true, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to just sit down, focus, and listen. I went shopping today, and I was listening to a podcast, and that was good because I was just walking around.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good to listen to the podcast. But usually I'll just listen to music or something like that. But I listened to the podcast, and I focused on it a lot, which is nice. Because then you forget everything. Right? You just forget everything what you're listening to.
Well, in podcasts, I find, including ours, I'm going to put ours on the map now, has very valuable information to help us better ourselves. Some are just mind numbing, but and ours could be in that category. I'm not sure. Who are these two crazy guys just talking? But there's a lot of podcasts, a lot of audiobooks that have a lot of good information. Oh yeah. There's tons of information out there. Yeah, and that's why I like listening to podcasts or audiobooks while I'm driving or shopping. Like you say, you go to the store and you just put in your headphones and turn on a podcast or an audiobook and just let it go.
It's a nice de-stressor too.
It is.
But careful when you're driving. I was listening to one day, and then I got to my destination. I was like, how did I get here? Yeah.
Again, autopilot.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Was that a safe left turn? I don't remember. Must have been. I'm here.
Must have been. I made it.
I'm here. Oh, yeah. And I think a lot of people even do that when they were driving home from work, because you're just so tired after a day of work. And you take the same route every day. You're just on autopilot.
Well, when I was driving every day, 3 hours back and forth, you leave at the house at 4 a.m. and just autopilot, just drive through the mountains there, and you're like,
yeah.
But on the way home, you're like, oh, I'm tired.
Yeah. Well, in the morning you're tired because you should be sleeping. It's 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And on the way back, you're tired because you just worked a full day and 14 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a full 18-hour day.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And 6 of it is driving. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then you got to sleep.
Right? Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Got to come home, wind down. But
yeah, exactly.
So I bring it up because I wonder if the amount of screen time that we had growing up, because I mean, we grew up in the 80s and much different information than what we have today.
Yeah.
different technology.
Well, that's why I say like the documentation is different now. Like kids could be the same as they were back then.
Yep.
But there's more research done now.
That's it. So knowing that we know now, and we have the ability to put our children in the position that we can, like our mom never really had that opportunity. So it really brings the question, like, is the amount of screen time I had growing up, is that the cause for my ADHD, or is it genetic? I don't know. I've been told it's the screen time, but I mean, I don't know.
How are you supposed to know? Like, that's just an easy answer, right? Like,
yeah. And again, not a doctor,
right?
But just it's all theories. Yeah.
But when we were growing up, our screen time was Saturday morning cartoons.
Cool. TGIF.
And then TGIF and playing Nintendo.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
The original Nintendo.
The original Nintendo.
Yeah. If you don't know what that is, you need to research what the original Nintendo was.
Well, we were so happy to get that Sega Genesis, though.
Oh,
that
was money.
Such a good
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
We spent many of the nights staying up playing that.
Right.
Yeah. So many nights staying up playing
but
that.
I'm not a violent person. You're not a violent person.
Nope.
So how can you say screen time makes people violent?
It's true. So yeah, so I think there isn't a one size fits all. I think everybody's in different boats, especially after the age of 5. But it, again, with the pandemic world, it's kind of the direction that everybody's been thrown into.
Right. And I will say one thing also.
What's that?
You don't want your kids being left behind either.
No.
Technology will advance. Screens are going to be everywhere. Right. If you are not going to let your kids on them, they are going to miss out.
I like that. Yep, absolutely. Well, and look at our parents, grandparents.
Yeah, right.
Like the
fact that my Wi-Fi's down. Oh, well, don't worry, I'll fix it. You just unplug it and plug it back in.
That's right. You're a genius.
They think you did open heart surgery.
That's right.
Right? But that's all it is.
Well, and I'll say this, the fact that our 82-year-old grandmother is trying to take one of my old phones and learn to text, I think gives her a lot of credit, because I don't know of another person her age that is in the boat of doing that. Because as soon as they look at one of these, they panic.
They panic because they don't know and they're afraid of making a mistake.
Absolutely.
Well, it's like when you get a new phone, you're afraid of breaking it, right? You don't want to do anything because you don't want to break it.
I don't want to take the plastic off.
They're the same way.
Yeah.
Could you imagine them with T9 typing?
Ooh.
Do you remember T9?
Ooh, yep. I did 74 times to get an S.
I could type from my pocket though.
Oh, you could. Yeah, because you knew where the buttons were.
You knew where the buttons were.
Which was an easy transition into BlackBerry, because you could actually feel the keyboard.
Right.
Yeah. And then they move into the all screen, and it's a benefit because you're not supposed to text and drive. So hopefully that diverts it, but that just means that people that are doing this a lot more.
Yeah. Well, I downloaded the speech to text app.
There you go. Yep. Yeah. And again, talk through your headset.
Exactly.
I put this headset right into the phone and talk my text.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so weird. And like you say, it's only going to improve. It's
only like, you don't want your kids to get left behind, but you don't want them to spend every day on it.
Exactly. So where's the balance?
Yeah.
Right. And
all kids are different.
Exactly. Yep. Like for me, I will say right up front, like, and I'm comparing myself to you for just a minute. You're very handy. You worked with big equipment trucks a lot. You've worked on the oil rigs, all that kind of stuff. So you know how to work with big machines, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I have not, but my forte is more the computer. So every kid's a little different. I can run a computer, and maybe not as good as some of these IT guys that you see online or whatever, but I would prefer to do this than work in construction.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm starting to turn that way because my back doesn't want me to work construction anymore either.
Well, and that's the other thing, right? Like if I'm going to exercise, it's exercise that's going to do better for me instead of like our brother-in-law who his back is shot and he's a cement worker. He lays cement all day and he's been doing it since he was 21. He's in his 40s.
Yeah, and he told his kid, "You do not get into concrete."
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because well, and my wonder too is by the time his son is old enough to do it, is there going to be a machine that you just have to push a button and it's going to do it for you anyway?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I would say no.
Right.
But who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. If I could read the future, I wouldn't be here.
No.
No. Although I believe my anxiety has taken a run at that. I bet you can predict the future. What if?
What if?
What ifs? Oh, all the time. What ifs? Just all the time. Yeah. Anyway, we kind of got a little off track, but I like that point. You don't want your kid to be left behind. You want them. You need them to know technology. I mean, the fact that they're teaching coding now in school, so you can build apps. I'm looking at that again, being kind of a computer guy. I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah, no.
Where was that when I was growing up?
No.
Instead, I was learning the home row of typing, and I'm okay. So
I read somewhere why they put the keyboard like that because people were getting too fast at the old way, so they did it this way to slow people down. Because the machines couldn't keep up with the typing
back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe
so. They did it this way to slow it down.
That makes sense.
Now I bet you, if they switched keyboards back to like ABCD, like
I'd be lost.
Everybody would be, right?
I'd do the chicken pecking.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
It's so stupid. I didn't know that though. Well, and we have a friend who's more of an IT guy than I am, and he can type. I think it's 120 words a minute. He has. I know the one job he had. I don't know if he still has it, but he had 3 huge monitors, and he would go have 3 different keyboards, and he'd type like crazy on one computer. He'd have to jump to another computer, type another bunch for 5 minutes, while that one was catching up. He was typing on this one, let this one catch up, and then he'd go to the third one and start typing on that one. And he was typing faster than the server can keep up. It was nuts. And this is only 15 years ago.
That's insane.
Isn't it though? Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's good. That's a good place to wrap it up unless you have something else.
No, that's good for me.
Yeah, I know we didn't really answer any questions because I don't think it is a one size fits all.
Every kid's different.
Every kid's different.
Everyone is different.
Yep, and especially with the pandemic happening now, I mean, I think we would be naive to think that the world that we're going to have after the pandemic is the same as the world that we're leaving. It's going to be different.
It has to be.
Yeah. Staying at home, I heard the other day that on that Facebook is actually, the company itself is actually going to have people who don't have to be in the office work from home.
Well, look at this. How many businesses are going to save money on rental space for commercial real estate now?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yep. So what we're even doing now, like we're starting a podcast during a pandemic because this is the new norm. Yeah. We're doing a call online and making a use out of it. So this will be the new norm for sure.
It is, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, again, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, and that's where you're watching this, please feel free to subscribe. If you're getting this on wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, iTunes, whatever it is, please make sure that you subscribe so that you get the updates every week when we post a new episode. Again, if you're a dad, I'm going to put the offer out there. If you're a dad and you want to get on here and share your story, please feel free to reach out to us. I'll put our email address in the description wherever you're reading this, whether it be the show notes or the description on YouTube. and you'll be able to reach us there. And maybe we can get you on a future episode. So, episode number 2, I think it was a success. What do you think?
I think so too. Yeah.
Yep.
I was happy with this one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you on the next one. Thank you for watching / listening to the Dad Podcast.